I want to announce my candidacy for president.
Homelander.
You guys can write my name in. You guys can write my name in.
Do we write Homelander or do we write Al?
Yes, welcome back to the Blunt Lab. I am Al, joined by my brothers Marcus, Sean, and Rick. What is going on, gentlemen?
What up?
What up, everyone? Good to see you, doctors.
Yes. Well, so I want to start off with the Copa America real quick. I want to congratulate Argentina, blah, blah, blah. Good stuff. But what the fans did in Miami during that game was fucking disgusting and terrible. What they did is going to make it so that I think it was a Hard Rock that was hosting.
Yeah, Dolphin Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, they won't be able to do something like this again. People were hurt. There were folks climbing through the vent trying to get into this game. On top of bum rushing the fucking barricades and all that stuff. Like,
they basically had to let them go. It was very similar to the Astroworld situation. Fortunately, obviously people didn't die. It didn't come to that, but it will again. Over there across the pond, this is how their soccer events are. It's a very violent event. Like I don't want to talk a lot of shit on America, but if you think it's fucking rough at going to stadiums like the Philly, going to like Philadelphia football game out there, or Pittsburgh or Cleveland, some of these stadiums where when you go in there, these fans don't give a fuck. But go to a soccer game anywhere, across the pond, and it's a violent, mean, competitive, everybody's drunk as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a big deal. So honestly, what happened in Miami is actually on par with the shit that happens over there all the time. So what I think it's gonna do is it's gonna make more people watch. More people get involved because they love that shit, but two, it will change the standard of what needs to happen in terms of security, how much they have on hand, in terms of police.
It was just terrible, man. It was just terrible.
I mean, but Rick's got a point. Like that kind of thing, like soccer riots are a thing. They've had whole stadiums burned down because one team won that wasn't supposed to win. So yeah, they go big over there on their football.
It's fucking disgusting. But another. Again, congratulations, Argentina, whatever. The Euro Cup, I'm really happy that England lost. On top of England losing, with England losing, they have a player by the name of Saka who is of African descent. They were blaming him for the whole thing. I mean, the media essentially took his face and turned it into a monkey's face. Some of the racist things these motherfuckers were saying over there, blaming him. And mind you, it wasn't solely his fault that England lost. But, if I was of African descent or of Jamaican descent or of Haitian descent and I live in the UK, I recommend you don't play for those bastards because those motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Now, the fans are a different story, but the media, just racist as shit, because there are a lot of fans standing up for for soccer and some of these other guys, so I commend them. But as far as like the UK media, go fuck yourself. Go fucking fuck yourself. Now, I have a video clip that I want to play. It was getting a lot of play last week, but I figured we just touch on it because, man. Roll tape on the video clip.
Say, can you
the stitch
by the dawn's early light,
it's also the
what so proudly we hailed
This happened, y'all. This happened.
by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed. And the rockets red glare, the bombs
Whoa.
bursting
It's not. That's not settling.
gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Why would she go that direction with it?
Oh,
Oof.
say
Oof.
does that star-spangled banner
Whisper. Shh, they're gonna hear you.
wave o'er the
And
lands of the
Yeah.
free.
That's not my everything.
And the
And then she stayed on it for a while.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a
So
new take.
at first they were trying to say it was a auto-tune issue that they were having, which is why it sounded that way. And it turns out that it was not.
No, they weren't
It's
huge in
on the
auto-tune. I could
television.
definitely tell. They would have been more in tune.
She so happened to be drunk as fuck doing
So
that.
she's
Drunk
fine.
as fuck doing that. And man,
Yeah, we
you
saw
just made
last week
everybody-
Justin can perform way better than her in that state.
Well, he was on cocaine, you know. Cocaine's a different thing. She was drunk as fuck and said, man. I've heard wolves howl better than that.
And listen, this was at the All-Star weekend. Like, this wasn't just some game
That's
like
like Derby.
I'm on a fucking Thursday night type shit. No, bro. This was the home run derby. Got the fucking
people that
dudes
don't-
up, little star
Even people that
plat-
don't watch baseball were watching this.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, yo, were they trying to?
Yeah.
I thought maybe this was like just a jab at us, like another like smack America around a little bit.
I mean, she should have made a better choice. I mean, if you're going to get fucked up for something, I mean, the better drug is cocaine, if you will.
Look, clearly, Justin supports this. I mean, the
God,
man looked
man.
a little wild, but he was still performing his heart out, so we give him that.
At least his heart didn't explode. So
Fair.
good job on Justin. Now, this picture I'm going to pop up here. I'm going to have pop up here. This happened, this is like during prom season. I was going to bring it up earlier, you know, but I don't know if you can read this. But it says, for those not watching and just listening, it says, I know I'm not cotton. But
Wow.
will you pick me for prom?
See, when this first started going around, and I wasn't there a little bit of controversy that that's actually not something it said, or this is all fake Photoshop shit.
I would hope so.
No, it's
I
more
heard-
fucked up if it's photoshopped. But if she did it,
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things where you're just like, yeah, I don't know if you're sending the right message. If it's photoshopped, then you're like, that's just it.
Yeah, it was.
And I meant to,
Well, and the people in the video or in the picture, I mean, they came out and said that that's not what the thing said that she had. It was something different.
I would hope so, because I never saw anything else after that. Because I'm all for jokes. You know,
Now, if she would have given it to him, would it have been okay?
I don't think it's okay either way.
Well, no, absolutely not. So let me rephrase. If she gave it to him, it's one thing. If he gave that to her, that's racist as fuck. I guess is what I mean.
And I mean, even for her to do something like that, I mean, like, what kind of message are you trying
okay.
to...
So, yes. So going to that point, if she was the one making the joke, speaking back in the hypothetical, if she's the one making the joke, that means they're probably in their relationship for whatever reason. It's been a joke about that. Somebody probably said that to them, or you know what I mean. Someone picked on them when they first got together. Some shit like that. Like I feel like that. Like when I first saw it, that's what I was thinking. I was like, "There's got to be more to this." And that's what made me dig into it. And then I found out they were like, "That's what it said on there." But when I thought about it, you know.
If it's something that they have on the inside, and it's their relationship
inside
thing,
joke.
you know,
Right.
cool. But when you do this out in the open like that, especially for her to do it in front of his family, you're pretty much opening up the door for those motherfuckers to call you the N-word whenever they fucking want to.
Well, yeah.
That's essentially what you're doing when you do some shit like that.
I feel like it was done, when you're in a relationship with somebody and you have that unique experience, you guys have those things going on with each other that you understand. We've all been in that. And yeah, it may be because of the fact that, hey, look, we're trying this relationship that's getting us a lot of fun people, and it's here. So we're going to expand on that. And it's funny to us. But again, yeah, when you look at the cultural ramifications of it, it's like, I don't know if you really look into what on that sign, if that's the message you want to be conveying. Like, yeah, it's funny, sure, to that family, but when it gets outside that family and it gets in a social sense, it starts having a new meaning and a new take. So yeah, things like that you just got to be careful of, because like I said, to you it means something, but to the general populace it means something else entirely.
Absolutely.
Nailed it.
Any thoughts, Marcus?
I think you guys said it all. It's just kind of ridiculous. I don't really have much to say. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't understand it. Like, they're kind of young to be having that kind of mindset. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like y'all said, if it's like an inside joke, I get it, but like, not everybody's gonna get that. So,
I'm not gonna tower place. And I certainly won't sit up here and act like that. I haven't said offensive things as far as like race is concerned. But growing up where I grew up, I was best friends with every sort of fucking race, so we were kind of fucked up to each other, period. But for fun, you know what I'm saying? And in an angry situation, I don't give a fuck what race you are. I'm going to fucking insult you. I'm going to use everything offensive and insulting, whatever color you are. I don't give a shit. Does that make me racist, a bigot, or prejudiced? I don't give a fuck. If you piss me off to the point where I have to go there,
then bro, it's like you said, it just opens that up for her now to experience it on that end. If it comes to it.
I can't remember if they're from Alabama or Mississippi, but like in those kind of states, in those kind of states, that shit's not funny. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to add too, like, if, like Rick said, if he gave that to her, I don't think it would make a lot of sense. Cause like, he's white. He's not picking.
No, if he gave that to her, they shouldn't be going to prom together anymore. She should be like, listen.
One, they shouldn't be going up to prom together. And I'm like, who's your great granddaddy? Jefferson? Like, really?
Now, if she gave it to him, then she might just be out of touch with, like, her cultural compass. She might need to, realign that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, to not have the impact in her head of what it might be meaning to other people that see it. Like, if that's a joke, I mean, shit, the four of us on here, we'll sit here and talk to one another and say some wild shit to each other. But it's not something you want to put out as a public thought process of what you think about the general situation, because that's not true. And it's fucked.
Exactly.
But it's funny when it's more
exactly.
I'll tell you right now, Marcus and Rick have heard me say some.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something different.
I mean, we all know the two of you are racist. We don't need to go there.
At the end of the day.
That's what I was waiting on.
For the most part, you guys have heard me say some really horrible things.
I prefer the term equal opportunity hater. Like, you know what I mean? I'm equal opportunity hater. I don't really give a fuck what I call you out. You're a piece of shit. I'll call you one.
Sure.
Yeah, there's not a single culture.
And if I have a racial slur to say to you, I'm going to fucking say it. I'm hoping you pick those hands up.
There's not a single culture that I think about and look at and be like, oh, they're just scumbags. They're pieces of shit entirely. Because that's not the case. But there are people that I'm like, that dude, that chick is a total piece of shit.
Thinking about it too, I've I've used a few others, but I've never like derogatorily dropped an N-bomb on someone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I never said the word, but I've never called that. You understand what I mean? Right? Right.
Like, I've tried.
And but that's just it. That's just it. Because I feel strongly that like you do. And the reason I said that is because of what you just said. Like, if you was to pull it out of me, man, you'd have to be a real piece of shit for me to drop an N-bomb on you. Like, for real.
I feel like it's different though too. Like, if like you see it on the clips all the time when people are fighting and stuff, and like it's one white dude and one black dude, and that white dude will drop it, and every single sentiment that dude should win is gone. Yeah. Is gone because you realize how ignorant they are, and no matter what come out of their mouth beforehand, probably led to it. You're just like, that dude is stupid. Why would you say that? Why would you bring that up? Because that has nothing to do with the fight or what's going on. So you just dumb, and you probably walked into this. It's an indicator right away.
Like if a 70-year-old old lady who's senile as shit said something to you that was ignorant, you might think to myself, man, I want to smack this bitch, but you ain't gonna. You know what I mean? Like, and so to me, well, if he was attacking, I'm not saying attacking. I'm not saying attacking.
I'll say this.
Homelander got a Homelander.
Had I ever bumped into that old white bitch that got Emmett Till killed, I mean, the news story would be light-skinned nigga smacks old white bitch.
I was thinking that
real hard.
That Charlie
in
Murphy,
the face.
Real.
You know, Charlie Murphy has a real, you know, remember he did on the show, he did those real true Hollywood stories with Charlie Murphy. Well, when he went on his comedy tour after that, he told a few of those that could not be told on TV. Absolutely couldn't. They're way worse, right? One of his sticks on it was after that whole time period where he got really famous from the Chappelle Show. This old white lady walked up to him in the grocery store and started calling him Darky instead of the brother Darkness. It was like, man, it's one of the hardest things I ever did in my life to not smack this old lady in the
Well, you see, in his position, that is what your security is for. There should always be that one guy that's willing to spend a couple of nights in jail and get paid for it.
You gotta have your guy.
Where all you have to say is that, hey, smack this bitch.
Fuck him up. Smack that fucking bitch.
And just keep it moving. You know, be like, don't worry, everything's taken care of, but just smack this bitch. Because truthfully, when people say that shit, whether they're male, female, whatever it is, if they were getting smacked on the mouth every time they said it, and people actually knew the punishment for this is getting punched and or slapped in the face for this, it would stop a whole lot quicker.
Well, think about it. What a power move, because not only are you rectifying the situation right there, but you're just like, you know what? I don't have time. I'm not going to mess my hand up. Somebody hit this bitch.
Oh,
and
that's what, that's
walk
what,
yeah. And then you continue to walk. That's straight up power. You don't want to engage him. You don't give him that. Just have somebody else pop him.
Seriously.
When you're a Charlie Murphy, but if you're a regular mojo like me, you know, how you doing? How you doing? How you feel? Right in the
thunder,
face.
Little lightning.
Say hello.
And make no mistake, I don't care what you are. Male, female, if you're still confused or if you're in transition, I don't give a fuck. Fuck around and find out.
You live up to that name, man. You are definitely the Homelander, bro.
Because I am the Homelander.
Every time, man. I can appreciate it, though.
Speaking of elbows and throwing hands, I wanted to shout out a Filipino fighter coming up in the UFC by the name of Hyder Emil, who won his fight by TKO last night. My man put hands on the South Korea. Oh, man.
Congratulations, young brother. Hey, speaking of fights, man, you seen Jake Paul won another fight.
Yeah, and look, you know,
this is when I give him a little bit more credit. I give him a little bit more credit.
I told you,
scrapper.
Kind of come around as he develops that skill along with that fucking presence. People are going to start seeing a little bit more from him.
Another non-boxer who talks.
It felt fixed a little bit too.
I get it.
I felt a little fixed.
And
Mike Perry's like, he's a scrapper. Like Mike Perry's a scrapper. He's not a boxer, but he is like a fighter, bare knuckle and shit. But it did look a little fixed. The end looked kind of
This is the most money. This is the most money Mike Perry's ever going to see. 1, 2.
Yeah.
I don't like Mike Perry because if I'm not mistaken, I believe he dropped the N-bomb in a way that wasn't
verified.
I like his
the way he said it.
Game.
He's very
It's like him and Hulk Hogan. Like the way they said those words. Like
I'm done with Hulk Hogan.
That shit is just embedded in you. You know, that shit is just embedded in you. You know,
Hulk broke all of our fucking hearts.
I thought that was
Hulk Hogan broke our fucking hearts. I didn't know that's how he really felt.
That had to be a moment.
I wish.
I did not know that's how Hulk Hogan really felt. I did not know that all these years.
Like,
I was a fucking Hulkamaniac too.
You don't remember this? You don't remember?
No, I know. No. I'm saying before that happened, I didn't know that's how he felt about us. I was a fucking Hulkamaniac. I was ripping my shirt and everything too.
Bit Shane.
Yeah, I was like, I can't even look at him the same no more.
I mean, look, guys like him will work with black people,
right?
But God forbid those very black people try to make their way into their household. Okay? They will work with them. They will work with them because there's money involved. But God forbid you try to fuck that white boy's daughter.
Hogan just felt like Hogan has always felt and always portrayed the image that he felt he was above everyone. Honestly, straight up. Like you said, he's worked with white guys and he's worked with black guys all throughout these years, and he's been a douchebag to all of them. And honestly, like I said, same thing. Like when that whole shit happened where he dropped the N-bomb, any respect that I had for Hogan was already gone. But I had already been introduced over the previous few years leading up to that how much of a douchebag he was really behind the scenes of the business. So I had already lost a lot of respect for him. There wasn't even a lot left. So that to me, actually, when it happened, I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Like his douchebag ass. You know what I mean? Like, so that having said that, Hogan just thinks he's above everyone. It goes back to the whole shit of, yeah, like it's more of like you, it's coming from your heart. For him, it's just coming from like ignorance. He doesn't really give a fuck who he steps on and what he says about whoever. If he feels like a racial slur about somebody, he's going to racial slur about that person.
And like, you know, I know I say a lot of mean things on this show, but I don't really like to directly wish ill will on anybody. But
Shit,
if
you
I
got
ever saw a
people like
video
most people I know
of Hulk Hogan's if I ever see a video of Hogan's old white ass walking and he happens to fall on his hurt spinal cord, I would laugh.
He was like,
that makes me wrong. Sorry for not being sorry. Fuck that bastard.
Wolves.
One of those you wouldn't piss on his eyebrows.
And that Trump.
No, but
go ahead, Marcus.
No, but the thing with like the Jake Paul thing, like I'm at this point, he's got to start fighting boxers, man. Like he's 0-1 if you want to technically call it that against like professional
real
boxers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what
he needs to do.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cool. Like the fight itself was cool. I mean, to me, the end looked a little fixed. Like I don't know. I'm not in the ring, so I don't know how hurt Perry was. It looked like it was kind of like it's time for this, to call it right now. But
I feel like he's getting everything he wants. He's getting the wins. They're all getting paid, and he's getting that notoriety for being a significant fighter. Is he ever going to be one of the best boxers in that realm, in that world, in that sport? Probably not, because he's not going to take on the top names in that talent, because he's not one of them. But he's definitely proven himself a lot more of a fighter than a lot of people thought when he turned YouTuber to fighter. Yeah. I think that he's definitely crossed that bridge for a lot of people. But again, I don't think he's ever going to become one of the best boxers in the world. I don't think it's like that. But he's definitely taken out a lot of naysayers of the other camp.
Yeah. The only credit I give him is the fact that he's willing to pay these guys.
Yeah, guys are getting paid. Yeah, people are getting big paydays. Yeah. As
far as like as a fighter, hey, I respect the fact that you're training, you're learning, you're making the attempt. But again, step into the ring with somebody like Crawford, Tank Davis, one of those guys, Shakir, forget what his name is, but he's getting ready for Tank Davis.
I'd like to see him fight Canelo. I'd like to see him fight Canelo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Step into the ring with one of those guys, knock one of those guys out, and I will respect you as a fighter.
At the end of the day, people just realize that anybody that steps into their camp and around their circles, like these guys like Logan, Jake, a bunch of those cats, if you get into their circles, it generates money. Like that's their whole thing. They're not about becoming successful fighters or, milestones in that sport. They just want to make a bunch of money for everybody, and they found a good niche to do it. So, I mean, I will say that. That's why when I was in landscaping, the boss came to me when I was doing the business development. He's like, hey, are you cool with Logan Paul? And I was like, not really. And he's like, well, I need you to get real cool with him real quick because we're jumping into that bandwagon and we're going to go build his pond at his house. And I was like, no, I guess. So, yeah, like we've had that interaction. But, yeah, they bring money.
Here's the difference, though.
Wheelhouse.
Jake is one thing. Logan is another.
Oh, absolutely.
Logan is a legit wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did collegiately, I mean, the guy's a beast. You know what I'm saying?
They're both really great athletes, like to be fair. Naturally, like they're both pretty athletic,
And Logan's doing his thing in the WWE. What he's where he fits in where he's at. Where Jake is trying to portray, I mean, like, hey, dude, you're beating old dudes, who were punched out, punch drunk. And again, I'm glad that you're paying these guys because these guys deserve, well, maybe not Perry so much because he's a racist, but some of these guys, you know, they deserve the money because, you know, they've had a long career, you know, they've done their thing and they deserve this money. But like, you know, don't play something you're not, dude, you know.
But he's at the very least, he's putting eyeballs on the sport in a different way. And I feel like in a way, I don't know, this might be kind of a hot take, but I feel like he's kind of like calling out like boxing and like their way of doing business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I like that as well.
It's so fucking political and like the way they do shit. Like, I feel like the way he's like operating is like, it's showing that this is possible. Like, I'm going to set up a fight. We're just going to do it.
What's crazy to me is both of these entities are kind of seeing, whether it's MMA or whether it's WWE, I feel like they're both starting to kind of jump on the bandwagon as far as the demographic and the viewership that both of these cats bring to it. Because like, look, let's be honest, wrestling has taken a hit in the last few years as far as younger generations jumping on. Like, all of us old cats liked wrestling, we grew up on it, but younger guys are not really watching the wrestling until you get cats like Logan Paul in there, and they're going to bring all those billions of fans that they have into wrestling again. So I mean, as far as a business move, fucking genius. Like, they almost had to do it.
No, the wrestling.
Like I said, Logan is fucking amazing in the ring. Like, he's fantastic. Considering he's only been doing this a few years, he's really good.
Wrestling is the biggest it's been in a long time, actually, right now. It's been exploding since right before the purchase and Vincey going out. It's actually huge right now. The younger audience is really getting into it. What's happening, and I've been saying this, guys, to you for the last fucking year, is you're seeing the boxing scheme and the mixed martial arts scheme, hashtag UFC, you're seeing it turn more all like, it's all merging and becoming alike. They're morphing together to be all similar. The just difference is the stakes of the match. Like when you watch wrestling, you have a hardcore match, you have a tag team match, you have a no DQ match, you have ladders, chairs matches. That's really all that's happening. These are other divisions or other federations, if you will, as they used to call it back in the 70s and 80s, that are just doing it another way, and they have a different roster. It's becoming more alike.
Another thing that's huge that we won't really touch base on. I want to wait for Matt to be on because I know he's very hateful towards this. But the WNBA, I want to congratulate the All-Stars for beating the national team last night. I watched a lot of that game. Caitlin and Angel looked great playing together.
Yeah, they're good.
As long as
I can't pronounce the girl's last name, but she dropped like 34 points in the second half.
Yeah, the African girl.
Yeah, she's nice.
She was.
But she declined. She declined the invite for Team USA. I don't remember what the cause was, but I know it wasn't nothing serious. Like, she just didn't want to play the Olympics. I'm pretty sure she has before. But the last time that they did this in 2021 during like the COVID redo year for the was it Tokyo Olympics? Like, the WNBA girls won that year, and then we went overseas and brought home the gold. So, hey man, I say the WNBA is in a very good spot, like a very good spot.
They got new contracts and new things. But moving on, I'm going to give you guys a choice on which one we're going to talk about first, because we'll have 15 minutes for both topics. Well, I actually want to touch on something too. If you're watching up until this point, please remember to hit that like button. That helps us out a lot. Before we move on to the last two topics, our very own host Marcus will be entering a contest.
Oh yeah,
for real radio 104.1. You guys know, if you know me, you know that I'm a big Monsters in the Morning fan. I'm a big fan of the radio station, period. The Monsters, News Junkie, the Jim Colbert Show, Tom and Dan. I don't get to listen to all of them much because I'm always catching up with Monsters. But nonetheless, this competition, Marcus will be joining, putting in... I guess we'll wait to mention what song he's going to be entering, because I want him to enter the contest first. So we're going to need you guys that are supporting us to support Marcus. Put in the votes, I should say. Yes. So we're definitely going to get that done.
Let's get that going.
So yes, do you guys want to talk about episode 8 of The Boys first, or do you want to talk about the Trump debacle first?
Let's do the boys. Let's do the boys because it kind of leads into the.
It kind of does, actually.
And
Sadly, it does.
We got 15 minutes apiece. 15 minutes apiece for each topic. Yes, episode 8 of The Boys. I'm going to say this before we get too deep into it. Starlight, when she is the shapeshifter, damn man, she got hot. You know, she got
she got me back a little bit there.
All that, right?
I looked past the surgery. I was like, yo, Starlight's
didn't I tell y'all,
demons,
making her look mean and evil.
She's just been such a harpy bitch this season. Like, and she makes a good point. It's funny because the shapeshifter character makes a point. Just, I'm all messed up. Oh, I'm all depressed. It's like, she's just kind of tiring to watch. It's like, and then she gets fun again. You're like, kind of want to fuck her again.
But yes, hey, yo, man, I'm like jumping around, but dude, Butch
should have fucking killed Ryan, bro. He should have just fucking did that in the bunker. Like, why not? You just saw this motherfucker
because of the Becca side of him.
Yeah,
Becca side of him wouldn't let him, but he should have.
Grace, I want to leave.
I'm sorry.
Get out of my way.
Grace. I'm sorry.
Marcus, you have no idea how happy that makes me feel to hear you say that. Because
I'm fucking over it, bro.
You know I'm not above.
Bro,
you know I'm not above killing kids. You know I'm not above killing kids. You know what I'm saying?
I've been protecting Ryan for years, man. Fuck all that, bro. He's Homelander too. Get his ass up out of here.
Screwed up my whole trust thing.
Jeez. And now, don't get me wrong. Grace fumbled. Grace dropped the ball. The way she was talking, she started wilding like, yo,
bro, Butcher's
had this shit going.
Great,
like, relax, bro. I got it.
Well, and that's the thing, though. Butcher knows exactly what that kid can do, and he knows what he is. Like, at the end of the day, he's part Homelander, too. So, yeah, you don't want to go that route. And he tries to warn her, and Grace just doesn't fucking listen.
Everything, what's his alter name that Negan plays? Fuck, I can't think of his name right now.
Kessler.
Yeah, so everything that kind of the Kessler alter ego kind of says kind of does kind of come true. He's just so blatant about it that...
And that's the thing. That's what's cool about what Kessler says to him. He's like, you know how I know you want to do this? Because it's me. So you know that I know that you really want to fucking do this. And again, we have to realize that that's not just another character. That's the part of his brain that kind of knows what's going on. It's cynical. It's pissed off, but it knows what's going on.
And what needs to be done.
Even what needs to be done, furthermore.
I want to say, too, bro, the fact that Butcher was able to take Newman out like that, yo, he might have a shot at Homelander, bro. Straight up. Like in a straight up 1v1, he might have a shot.
Because Homelander wouldn't be expecting
it. Done like that. I didn't know Newman could get like, bro, he just ripped her in fucking half. Like, what the hell was that?
But keep in mind, with Newman, those powers, though, I feel like if he hadn't surprised her, you know what I'm saying? She got that blood shit.
Yeah.
She got that blood shit. And that's what
That's true.
The one thing that didn't make sense to me about that episode is why is she so terrified of Homelander? And she knew from a distance. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck this motherfucker. Pop. And then you hear him pop off in the distance.
You know what, though?
I don't understand.
I think she knows that she can't do that to him. Because remember, like, they were having a conversation. I don't know if it was this season or last season where he was, like, essentially, like, daring her. Like, go ahead. Like, try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to pop my head. Go for it.
Yeah, you got to remember, especially if they go back in that episode, all those experiments that were running on him.
I got a feeling like he might be invulnerable to it.
They've told Ryan that he's the only hope that they have. So I'm guessing by lore in the show that she cannot do it. But it doesn't make sense because it's a blood thing. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out.
And you see
putting her you see him go ahead and like the way he pulls her card kind of in the beginning of the episode when they're on the news station or whatever on the truth. He's cool. We're here to tell the truth, right? And you can see it in her eyes, like, what the fuck you about to say? And he pulls her card and lets everyone know, hey, look, the vice president elect is actually
he fucking lasered her.
And he lasers her, and she could stop it immediately.
Nothing happens. Yeah,
nothing happened. Yeah, nothing happened. That's what I mean. Like, that shows like her power. Like, she can like take a fucking laser from Homelander. But like Sean said though, like the fact that Butcher surprised her probably was like the thing. And you notice he like wrapped her fucking eyes up first.
Yeah.
So that way she can't like activate her shit. And then you get her legs. I'm like, that
My
shit
man
was
went
crazy,
in
bro.
My man went anaconda on her ass, bro. And
I read a comment
favorite
earlier.
part-
And it talked about how Billy Butcher becoming the virus itself. I did not expect. I was like, he kind of is. At this point,
Yeah.
he's basically become the virus, the soup virus.
Kamiko,
I love,
I
I
don't
love
want to
that
forget.
tease. I'm sorry, Al. I didn't mean to cut you
Go ahead.
off. But that,
No,
that
go ahead,
little
brother.
tease of Soldier Boy.
Yeah,
I feel like he's
yeah.
going to be essential for next season
The
as well.
wrap up,
He's-
all
yes.
that wrap up stuff was cool.
Yes.
They took some of the team and like what they did with Frenchie and Kimiko.
Oh.
And, yeah, you're kind of like, oh,
Oh,
fuck.
yeah. And
Dude.
she's like, her first words, and like, oh, man, that shit sucked.
No! No! No!
My
And
question
Frenchie
is
would
this.
stop being a bitch finally. I know
Yeah.
I said that last week about Frenchie. Oh, he's still, yeah, I know. But he's like back to being himself. Good shit. And then you take him
Dude,
away. God
when
damn
they
it.
kissed, I was like, finally, man.
Finally. But
Finally.
Frenchie still kind
It
of
definitely felt like
a
the
little
redemption
bit.
they both needed. Like you hated him the whole fucking season, and then in the last episode, you're like, "Thank you."
Yes.
Fucking-
You know, I'm
Finally.
the only one. I'm the only one that didn't hate Frenchie. Okay,
No,
'Cause
I
know
don't,
he-
I don't
Yeah, I
hate
think
him.
so.
I was just
Everybody
like,
else
he's a little French bitch this season. I mean, I'm not being wrong. He was
I think
crying the
he
whole
used-
season.
It was,
I
it was
don't
pretty-
deserve
and
a life.
it's not
You
because
guys
of
don't
anything, but he
deserve-
was a little femme. Let's just
Look,
be
the man is allowed to feel. Okay,
Bro,
he
but
needs
not
like
time
this
to
much.
feel.
honest. Like he can
he
feel,
needs
not
to
like
feel
that.
on his own time, not our time. Feel in your room.
Hey,
We got an hour
Butch-
show. Take it easy.
Butch is out here feeling too, but he
And
gathered
look where that
himself.
got
He
us.
got himself.
Look,
He got himself
look where that
together.
got us. Butcher got in here and just like told you, "Watch out, bro. I got this." I like how he
Dude,
ain't fuck with nobody. He just touched his
Yeah.
shoulder like, "Watch out, bro."
And
How
the
about the
Gen
fight
B,
scene
the Gen
between
B
Aaron and
characters that they
herself?
bring in.
Oh,
That was
How about the fight scene?
Oh,
that was dope
yes.
too.
Wow.
The
When they
Starlight fight was
realized
dope.
it, like when
Yeah.
they realized
I
that
will
she,
say that was well
he
done,
was-
but it's cool because it sucks because you're not rooting for the right Annie. That was I felt during that whole fight, I felt like Huey. I was like, man, I hope that fun one wins. Like, dude, and honestly, the best part of the episode when Huey gets let off the fucking hook and he's like, "Fuck yes, Huey." He's just like, I nailed it.
So, man, you're gonna get tested for every STD.
He's like, fuck it, I'm cool. Like, all right.
So
You
the
said
Gen
you said
B
the-
characters. Who?
Now,
who do you
Sam,
think
I
is-
don't think Sam is a bad guy though. The kid,
He's still manipulated.
he's still under that spell she put him under.
they never
right?
got
I don't-
him back
He doesn't
fully.
want to.
He's a good
Yeah,
dude.
it's like he's
they
not
never got him
feeling
back.
anything.
and you
Yeah.
see she
Well,
gave
she's like,
Frenchie
Don't feel or whatever.
for she came up and whispered in Frenchie's
Yeah.
ear, and he just walked right along with him. And he-
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, see,
That
she's
is
a
okay,
problem, bro. When she's, they already showed that in Gen V, she's super powerful. She's one of the strongest ones. And if you look at kind of the correlation between the comic books, she's kind of Jean Grey. She's Ms. Marvel, and she's like the strongest motherfucker in the entire shit. Like she's a problem that they
It's good.
all have to deal with.
it's good
Now,
that they're
is
intertwined.
what's his name? Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam is the kid. Yeah.
Do you think he's stronger than Homelander?
Sam,
Is it?
He might be close.
they've literally said those words, but they've never said whether he is or not. They said that he might be able to. He may be. He's as strong as Homelander, but I don't know. Golden Boy was probably the next one. They say that he's stronger than Golden Boy ever was. So they're definitely top tier. I don't know if he can beat it though. You'd have to look at hours and how they interact, really.
And,
Because I'm
yeah,
not sure.
Master.
where the weaknesses are, and Homelander too, you got to give him the experience slide too. You know what I mean? Like, Homelander's been
Because at the
doing
end
this.
of the day, these guys are superheroes, but what they don't have, as compared to comic book superheroes, is that strategy, that team thing. They haven't been doing this for a long time. So they can go into it and fight, but they haven't developed techniques for beating each other's weaknesses. They're not in that world, and they'll never really get there because we only got 5 seasons.
And-
But
I want to touch on Sean's boy, the D. punching people's faces
Yo,
out.
he was crossing names off the list, dude. He was taking out the list.
He was like, okay, all these people got. All right, bet. Like
What's Ashley's last name?
Yeah, what's Ashley's last name?
Hey, speaking of,
Yo,
Ashley took me. And what's she gonna turn into?
Oh, Ashley
you-
Real. Yeah.
I was like, I gotta
Tempe.
go back and watch it. I was like, did I miss where? Because you see her take it, you see her hunch over. It looks like she's in a lot of pain. Like
They never
she's got-
gave you that.
They
We'll
never
see
they
give
next
did.
season.
answer. So
We'll see
I hope
next season.
I hope she's able to grow some hair. That'd be.
Bald bitch. Listen, and honestly, well, I don't remember. Do you guys remember when the others took that Temp B? Did they have that kind of a reaction? I don't think that they did.
everybody's just different.
I know.
It's-
Now,
That's what I'm
Now
saying.
with
I
the
feel like
Temp
she's
B.
having a different type of reaction, so she's probably not going to get the same powers that we've seen before. She might be some
But-
hellspawn shit.
if you remember when Newman gave the V to her daughter, like she had that reaction. So I wonder if that's temp B or if that like the actual like V, like the not the temp shit, like the actual shit. So I thought the temp V was green or something like that.
Synthetic
I thought it was a
They
different
got
color.
colors, I believe.
Yeah.
One's like
so that might
purple,
be
one's
like
blue.
the VV, you know. So, but I mean, I know Newman's daughter reacted like like that when she took the V. But speaking of, she didn't die, did she?
No, she went back to
what,
Red
just knocked her
River
out?
where the other chick grew up.
Oh, that is right. That is
yeah, they
right.
put her back in the home.
That was fucked up. Yeah.
That.
Yeah. Now we see the political stance that they were taking in this show. They actually had to give a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the,
Yes.
Yeah, there was a disclaimer at the beginning. Well, now
Yeah.
popped on. I read that they were thinking about not airing it because of the political climate that has been attributed to the past week, but they decided to air it and just put that disclaimer on it because, again, it doesn't follow the same kind of process, but it is political violence, and obviously it's a weird climate.
look, like, it's just like Simpsons or South Park. Like it was just so close to what's actually happening in the simulation. I mean, in the real world, where like you got like presidents dying and almost dying. You have a female black vice president taken over because of, and then you know what I mean, like the January 6th shit. Like they literally used the date January 6th in it all.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like-
Lander telling that dude to spit on it the same week of Haktua.
Of hard to
Lining up.
It's
At some point, it's not even satire. It's just reference it.
it's
You know
reference.
what I mean? Like it changes from satire to just straight up,
I'm going
references.
to be honest. For that reason, I kind of like it. I always have this problem with dates. And so, like, thinking back, I'm like, did that happen in June? Did that happen in July? Now you can kind of correlate it with the show. And you're like, well, that was on in the winter. So winter season was during that happened.
So before we jump into the Trump debacle, I just want to say The Boys is on Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the third season, right? So
No,
there'll be a
fourth season
four,
and
right?
next season's last number 5.
Okay, so
Five
this
is gonna be. It's gonna be a doozy, bro.
5 is
season
going to be off
five
the
is-
chain.
Whoa.
So
I
yeah,
feel
The
like
Boys.
that's just gonna be moving lightning fast. Like every episode is gonna be important.
We'll probably get a Gen V in between two. We're gonna season a Gen
Yeah,
V.
we
Yeah.
should.
We'll have another
It's
season.
It said Gen V season 2 will set up season 5 of The Boys. Like
Yeah, they've
oh,
been
so
linking
it's
right now.
directly. Yeah.
So The Boys gets 4.5 to 5 blunts.
This season, I might give it like 3.5.
I was about to
I
say,
feel like
been
this
the
is the
weakest
weakest
entry.
season. Yeah. Yeah.
But
as a whole,
For me,
four and a
as a
half.
whole, it's going to get
As a
4.5.
whole,
okay, that's what I was gonna
4.5.
say. That's your add a whole, but the season itself,
Mhm.
just the season. What do you
Yeah.
get the season?
You guys were just being mean because Frenchie was in his
Listen.
feelings, all right? So you
Frenchie
guys are
fault.
just disrespectful, heartless
I'll
bastards.
say this. I give it a 4. I give it 4. I give it 4 blunts, but it probably would have been a 4.5 prior to this season. That's where that's going to play in.
I'll see that overall the season, overall the entire series itself, it's a 5. It's
I might
it's
do that
still a
too.
5 for me. Hard 5. It's gonna take a lot to really fuck it up. It tried to at the beginning of the season. I attribute a lot of that to just Starlight disappointing me after that was such an enjoyable part of the show. But I have to look past that. And again, I got re-invoked that when they did the double up of her and she looked a little less made up. I was like, oh look, They did make her look like a fucking
Did they
demon.
de-age her? Did they de-plastic her maybe? Because I know they can do that and post that in there.
I would say this season would probably only get like a 4 for me. I don't know why it's not because of the Frenchie situation. The Frenchie situation didn't bother me too much. I honestly, it's just the Huey and Starlight storyline is starting to bug me out a little bit. So this season for me is a little less for the season because of that.
I like how she asks him, she's like, how many times did you sleep with my doppelganger? And he's like,
She looks just like you. You know, right down to that freckle you have down.
So you did fuck her?
I mean, you know.
How many times?
Had to be less than 20.
Oh my
You know,
less
I mean,
than 20.
I think I agree with Rick. I say 5 in general for the series. This season probably be 3.5. And it's not just the Frenchie thing.
right.
I loved A-Train's arc. A-Train's arc was awesome. Homelander's arc going into the finale is awesome. There was just parts of it I felt like, I don't want to say it was paced bad. It's just, I don't know. I just felt like a lot of stuff could have just not even made it to the screen. Like, we didn't need to see. But there were certain things that were fucking awesome. Like I said, A-Train's arc to me might be the shining part of the season. And he wasn't even in the last episode. But just seeing like that progression from him, you know, Ryan, like I said, start this segment, needs to get the fuck up out of here. Like Butcher, you dropped the ball again. You dropped the ball last season with goddamn Soldier Boy. You dropped the goddamn ball again with Grace. Come on, Butch.
And I thought it was going to be more of a problem when Ryan at the beginning was defying Homelander and standing his ground against him. But what I want to call out to that scene was when you watch Anthony Starr as Homelander's acting in that scene, he conveys so much different emotion on his face. Like, he's enraged as hell, but he's still hurt by Ryan not accepting. Like, there's so many things going on in his head that he portrays as an actor. That shit killed. I was like, that's insane. Yeah. He's so good.
He's top notch. Yeah, he's top notch.
And before we move on, Starlight blew away right before that bitch was gonna crush the shit out of her. Boy.
That's a good thing. She's gonna be able to. I think they're gonna form like a good version of the 7 going forward. I think Maeve is gonna come back for the finale or the final season. I think A-Train will be a part.
I was just thinking, I was like, you know what? It's funny because watching earlier episodes, you don't realize how much Maeve brings to the table. And then when she's gone, you're like, there's something missing, bro. There's something missing. And a big part of it, I think, is Maeve.
Facts.
So Trump. Now, look, I'm going to start off by saying that in the beginning, I was going to give the attempt on his life a little bit of merit, considering certain things.
When you say merit,
the shooter being in a BlackRock commercial, literally switching his political stance right before he does this bullshit.
Yeah, about that.
The fact that BlackRock is responsible for a lot of the money going into the Ukraine, and if Trump is elected, this will get a kibosh and blah, 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 blah. Then when Trump comes out with the hottakes on the wrong ear, lost me. After that, we all know it was, what was it? It
was his right ear.
It's just right ear, right? I've never seen a left ear thing. That's the thing I was going to get at. And since you brought that up, Al, there's so much shit that gets on the internet that's designed to pollute your train of thought and your ability to see the truth. And that's got to be there's so many things about this.
I saw 2 things yesterday. One, that his ear was now growing back, and he had made comments on how his ear grows back faster and better than everybody else. And then I saw another comment how the patch on his ear was something that a stage theater would apply, and that his ear hasn't grown back. So I don't know. I don't know if he has an ear at this point. I don't know if he doesn't. I don't know what's going on.
He might be a mutant, bro. He might be like Wolverine. Maybe he has like a crazy regenerate.
Well, that's what they were saying. That the person that commented was talking about because they think he's a reptilian. So yeah, it's along those lines.
I wanted to say, and I don't know if this is true or not, and I'm not trying to make light of it because it's crazy. Did he really come out to Many Men by 50 Cent?
No,
for the RNC. Did he really come out
that's
to
another thing, bro. I seen that meme, and if he did, genius. That's fucking awesome.
I was crying. I was literally in tears watching that video. I'm like, that can't be true. That did not happen.
Trump got
Somebody put the
36 felonies and got shot at by ops. He's the first black president for real.
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, look, man.
Oh, I see Rick. I see those two guys.
My team's representing at this point. Like, he's representing some shit he wasn't originally. So, I mean,
I want to tell you this.
Felonies, multiple baby mamas been shot.
Multiple shot, fucking prostitutes.
TV show.
He's wild, bro. You gotta watch him. He's wild.
This shit right here, literally just won him the election.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
this shit right here literally just won him the election.
The picture of him raising his fist, yelling "fight" with the fucking flag in the background, surrounded by security. Yeah, no, that's gonna live on.
I've been telling you guys, look, we don't get political on the show, but I say it all the time. Trump is a Manchurian candidate, dog. He's only they don't give a fuck what you believe and think about these candidates, only that you do what you're told. And if they know that by controlling this particular position, they can control.
Because I mean,
come on, man, they can control what you got about and what's being said, the narrative.
I mean, look, what you buy at the grocery store should tell you alone how your government feels about you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes. Look at the ingredients. Look at what they're there for.
Everything. And you know what? There's so many people when you try to point some of these things out. Like, well, they say this. This is the science of it. They're killing you. Okay.
Well, but that's the thing. Everybody else is so wrapped up in the message and the propaganda. It's like what they say in the Matrix. Everybody is so dependent on the system that's been created. You start trying to tear that down in front of their face, they'll fucking fight you. And you're like, bro, I'm just trying to help. But they don't care. They don't want that.
No, they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. And if they don't have to think about these things on a regular basis, they're completely happy.
I was going to say, quote for you. I don't know
that this is. I don't know if it's like. I think this helps, but I think he was already in the driver's seat, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I told you.
Like his opponent.
Trump,
opponent isn't
He's getting ready. His opponent is getting ready to quit. Nobody likes Kamala Harris.
Nope.
I mean, who's going to come out and run? Michelle Obama?
I'm saying at this point, they have.
It might as well be October. It might as well be October. There's not time to get somebody else groomed for that role unless they bring in somebody that is obviously the problem, where they're just like, boom.
Yeah, no,
so ladies and gentlemen,
or it have to be like a home run person, like somebody that like is legitimately loved. And
what you got, Rick?
I'm sorry, Rick. Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, you're okay. No, you guys are fine. I was just gonna say, for that last part, really quick. Yes, it's gonna be a slam dunk win for him at this point, and they'll be able to, the left will be able to use this as the excuse as to why. They'll, how just like I'll use this perfect example for us. Just like Boston didn't have to beat nobody to get there, all right? Yeah. And maybe that's why, Trump says, oh, we got cheated out of this election, but there was a reason why they wanted him to be in the driver's seat this set of 4 years, because the things that are this 4 years are going to be probably way more significant than what was happening in those. You understand? Well, and the second part to what I was going to say is just, I got a quote for you. The constant lying is not aimed at making the people believe a lie, but at ensuring that no one believes anything anymore. A people that can no longer distinguish between truth and lies cannot distinguish between right and wrong. And such a people, deprived of the power to think and judge, is without knowing and willing it, completely subjected to the rule of lies. With such a people, you can do whatever you want.
Listen,
and that's
when
really
you start going to the extent of telling people that there's no true genders anymore, and again, I'm not taking a political stance on this, but when you start alienating the truth of such finite things, you're really screwing with the fabric of what people accept as the truth. If you can screw with that, then you can screw with them on anything. Things like that, I believe, are a test on our society and how gullible and how manipulated we can be. And that's just on that. What I will say to that is Rick's probably right, because if you look at it, it follows a certain pattern. They put a dude that was completely leaning left and had very left agenda in Obama in the office, and it pulled our entire way of life, our culture to the left. We accepted a lot of things as far as gay marriage, things like that, things that probably needed a little bit of looking at. Fair. But then it started going further and further and further. And it got to the point where they started talking about the bathrooms, and you can go into whatever bathroom you want to. And America looked at it as a whole and they said, what the fuck? Whoa, we've gone too far. So it ended up with the next election. They had somebody that was very right and somebody that was very left, and they'd had too much very left. So it snapped back to the right like a rubber band. And then now Trump got in, and it pissed a lot of people off because he was extremely right. So they didn't want extremely right. They put Joe in. It's like that rubber band. You keep pulling it and pulling and pulling to the extremes until that fucker snaps.
And the fact that Joe got in smelling people's hairs and neck and like, really,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I
it's
feel like,
I mean, look, that never should have happened.
No,
They needed it to go that far left again.
Yeah,
it's no better than Trump getting in too, because I mean,
Trump
really,
had
everybody
that was
with Epstein
the right indictment
and all
on
of the
Trump,
connections
I
that
don't
he
even think it was a joke thing.
Oh God, man, Trump. People say, the people that it's funny. The people that really don't know about Trump are the first ones to talk about always a failed businessman, because they're going to look at the 7 or 8 things that were purposely shown as losses, because they're actually smart as fuck with what they've done with that brand. They show those losses so they could take all that money tax-free. Like, he said it loud and clear. So like I've said it before, if nothing else, and he is part of the machine and it is part of the fucking matrix, at least it shed the light. Trump coming into the picture has now made so many people have to like really consider if a lot of what we get told is fucking lies. Because before that, you couldn't tell a motherfucker that George W. Bush was the inside man on fucking 9/11, or that fucking Bill Clinton had nothing to do with the decisions going on in the White House. His wife was doing all of the decision making, like Obama is with Joe right now, while her husband was off banging kids in fucking islands, shit like that, and fucking interns. You know what I mean? So now all that shit is all shed light on. People take it as it's part of reality, and now they can, I'll use these words really lightly, they can queer our children. And disclaimer, I don't want that to be used in what that word queer is derogatorily used at times, but to queer in its core in the name means to take what is an actually functioning human and distort its perception on what is really reality. And that stuff is not reality. That extreme shit is not reality. Does that mean it needs to be an extreme right conservative point of view? Absolutely not. Do you, boo-boo, love who you want to love. If you ain't hurting other people or hurting yourself, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? So that said, it's more important, though, to make sure that our legacy as humans goes as long as it possibly can, because we do right by each other. And we're not doing right by each other on this current matrix.
Oh, absolutely not. And the longer we continue to put all these kind of people in a position of power, none of this shit is going to change.
Fucking
none of these motherfuckers give a fuck about
It's all about agendas. It's all about agendas and special interests. It's never about what's good for the people.
I want to announce my candidacy for president. You guys can write my name in. You guys can write my name in. The information will be in our description box.
Do we write Homelander or do we write Alf? What would you prefer to see?
Hey fellas, I can see Al now. Like, you guys aren't the real hero. I'm the hero.
You're not the real heroes. I'm the real hero.
I'm the fucking hero.
Hey, look, you guys will have high positions in the cabinet.
Hey, I'm voting. I know what I'm voting for. I mean, honestly, think about it like this, dude. It's the best choice that we've had in years. So,
are we talking
I'm gonna do right by y'all. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna
I'm gonna do right by y'all. You know,
that's one of the cabinet positions. That's all.
Exactly.
I just want dirt, and so preferably like maybe like the 4 states.
Minister of the Interior getting paid.
We're gonna do right. We're gonna do right by the people, and we're actually gonna take care of the people. You know?
We're damn right we are.
We are gonna bring back a gladiatorial contest in the Coliseum.
Yes.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We are gonna have
we
some
will
fights.
definitely be having.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more fights.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look, I'm in no position
That's how
to
scores get settled. That's how scores get settled.
You know, that's how real niggas do shit, right?
You guys
Come
got
to the Coliseum.
Keeping it real, man.
The Coliseum.
Yeah.
We got Coliseums in every state.
The
You know what I'm saying?
everyone.
Yeah, no.
If it's appropriate, I'd like to
You know,
give
we'll get rid of guns. We'll get rid of guns. Be like, look, let's settle the shit in the Coliseum. Just come on down.
We can get rid of the guns, but everybody should have a halberd or a spear, I think.
I want a dragon.
And that should be how we do combat from now on.
Hell yeah. Warrior shit.
Warrior type shit. Yeah.
For real, man.
Bring back duels and shit. Slapping motherfuckers with gloves and be like, I duel you.
Can we also use the robots that fight each other and shit? Can we like do those too?
In lesser cases, in like civil lawsuits, and be rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah.
But hey, once this competition starts, we'll let you guys know so you guys can put your votes in for Marcus at Real Radio 104.1.
Shout out.
We'll have that info ready for you. Also,
Let's go.
if you're looking for any artwork and custom toys made, look up my nephew Nate. His info's in our description box
You
as
say
well.
custom toys? Are we
We
going
want
to
to thank you guys for joining us and listening.
Yeah, custom toys. He's now expanded, I see.
Oh yeah. Check out his info, man. You'll see, man. He does some pretty good. He's got a ton of views on his social media and stuff. So I need him to promote the Blunt Lab as well.
Discreet shipping.
We need help.
Go, Nate.
You know what I mean? I am not sure on that. I would have to get back to him on that. But I believe once you hit him up, he has all that set up. But dude, what he does with the toys is fucking phenomenal. And his art. So definitely check him out. Also, like, subscribe, share, please. If you're watching up until this point, please remember to hit the like button. That helps us out a tremendous amount.
And comment.
Yes, comment, share. We'd love to hear from you guys. So signing off, I am Al, joined by my brothers Marcus, Rick, and Sean. Peace.